the day here in Leipzig, but then there was a lot of fighting, which I think credit to beastcoast. They could get all that fighting out. Unfortunately for beastcoast, that wasn't enough, and they did fall here in the first game of the best of three. beastcoast and IG game one here with Lizard, Cinderin, Grant, and I think it was like 2 minutes in, Grant, where you said this game's over.
And it was?
You walked out of the room.
And it was? No, beastcoast, I definitely thought IG had it from the draft. They played the lanes phenomenally, and then, you know, I want to say Emo did Emo things. He baited his team into a few bad fights, but in the end, right, as long as you get the W, you're feeling pretty good.
The hero and the villain of IG, I think, was Ollie. A couple of relocates were really bad timed, and Wisp isn't what he used to be. You can still stop it. You can at least untether and go die on your own. In a couple of those fights, he relocates literally into Winter's Curse and RP follow-up. But a couple of times, however, with those spider legs, the cliff plays were so good. Yeah. He goes on the cliff. Not only does he remain there so that he can heal the Lash and the Slark, but they try to kill him. PL tries to doppelgang on that cliff and gets stuck. Like that won them one of the team fights.
Yeah, I think when we came back, you did this. How did you do it? You did this?
No.
You did this for beastcoast?
Yeah.
This is my IG graph for this game with thumbs.
Multiple times.
I mean, they had a huge advantage. They basically, I mean, yeah, they probably feel good that they got the win, but I don't think they felt good about the way that they won.
How they played.
Because like they essentially wasted away 2 Aegises completely. They. The one thing is the mid fight of the tier 2, I think, where Emo started diving. That's the one you were referring to, I think. And then the top one, Kaka, goes to the tier 2 tower, finds a hero just next to the tower. It's a little bit almost disrespect to the enemy team.
It's something about beastcoast, though. It's something about them. It's something about this SA. This SA Dota, man. They make you do stupid stuff. If you remember the games versus Nigma, it was literally the same scenario. You'd think Nigma's got this 100%, and then somewhere half game through, they just start diving and start doing crazy shit.
Yeah. I'm just like, I understand maybe you feel a little bit time pressured because of the PL, but I don't know if you need to in this game. If you have full map control in the enemy team, sure, you have Mag PL that can get really big, but if they don't have the map, how is it ever going to win that game? But if you start diving towers, even with your advantage, instead of playing it a little more methodical, you give an opening to beastcoast. And yeah, they played. I was really impressed with how they played the fights themselves. It's just I don't think they should have ever had those opportunities. But then, if you give them to them, they're gonna make a lot of work with it. I think Mag got 2 or 3 solo kills on Slark, which is really difficult to do in the first place. So Chris Luck played an amazing game with what he was given.
There was one big team fight in which he's RPing. He always RPs a couple of targets and skewers them from the Dream Coil, right? So you have those 2 stuns instantly. They're super easy to execute. But there was one team fight in which he snaps the coil on 2, but he also catches Slark, who was in his ulti, meanwhile, in the skewer, and kills him off just like that.
All right, guys. This game was a tricky one. I would imagine mostly a tricky one for Twitch chat to decide who they thought was an MVP. Could we get a drum roll, please? To find out who you voted for at home. Here we go. It is JT that won the MVP award. But I must say, this is very spread. In terms of numbers, JT gets 26%, and that's the highest number on there. I mean, he played a good Sand King.
I'd say he made the least mistakes, and in a game like that where mistakes almost decided the game, it's good, right? You have the Sand King, you know he's gonna go and he's gonna stun. He got multiple 3-man burrows. He nullified the Enchantress pretty much in that early game. It was just like the Lion stunned, he ulted, they fingered, instantly kill one of the cores. I'm fine with that.
He was always there later on to help versus the PL. It's not about these big epicenters, you know, it's all about constantly burrow striking and preventing that PL from running away, healing up with that heart and re-engaging.
And that's a big thing. People at home can learn in pubs. As a Sand King, your blink stun's a lot better than your blink ulti almost 99% of the time, I'd say.
I would say the same as well. And also, you talk about heals and sustain coming out. I think that was kind of like the key that allowed IG, even being forced to fight all this time with beastcoast, I think their sustain helped them win the game more so than anything else.
There was that one team fight they're healing so much, 3 of them, because Wisp is around. He's healing everyone, and Fog looks at me and he's like, yeah, this Slark Axe, it's healing so much. And I'm like, what?
He Kyled, yeah.
No, but I do think that also going into the next game of the series, I think that that's going to be key. I don't think that IG is going to be allowed to have IO again. Even though Ollie had a not ideal game, it was good enough to warrant an IO ban.
Oh, just IO as a hero. I'm really surprised it got through in any of the games in the tournament at all. I just think IO's always been that hero, though, right?
It's just conceptually really difficult to deal with right now because of how the map kind of not only encourages, it kind of forces you to fight for certain objectives, like you need outposts, you need bounty runes, and IO is the only hero that can really be in 2 places at once with a teammate. If you have Nature's Prophet, you can be on 1 bounty rune and TP to an outpost, but IO has a save, it can be on 1 side of the map, relocate to the other, you can fight for both outposts at once, you can fight for Roshan while you're pushing bottom, that's... that part of the hero is just incredible. And the sustain, the neutral items, IO uses tons of them incredibly. Essence Ring, Craggy Coat, Dragon Scale. There's a couple more to top that off as well. It's powerful. I think
in this game
you don't get this hero in general.
Like Minotaur Horn, right? That's what he got. It's pretty good. Centaur Horn or...
Minotaur Horn.
Yeah.
It's a Minotaur Horn.
It was pretty good.
20 strength and 1.75, right?
Yes,
but that 1.75 pretty much allows you to get away from Diffusal after PL goes on you. So
Lizard, do you know the difference between a Minotaur and a Centaur?
yeah.
Okay, we'll leave it at that. Okay, then. He does. Sheep?
What is the difference between Minotaur and
It's the horn, right?
Yeah, it's the horn, and Minotaur was the one in the caves, right?
Was it Minotaur not the one with the 1 eye?
No, that was a Cyclops.
Oh.
That's Cyclops.
That was an X-Man.
In ancient Greece,
Now I'm just having this image in my mind of a 1-out Minotaur. That's really scary.
My bad. Then I don't know the difference very well.
It's just the horn, literally the horn.
So Magnus is a Minotaur?
Yes.
And Centaur is
a Centaur.
It's about the horn?
Correct.
Because Centaur doesn't have a horn. Right. No, I must say though, this game, we said after the draft, we said, well, IG's got a better draft. And there was really not much discussion about whether they had the better draft. They just did. But it still felt like Beast Coast played really well. So I'm assuming that if the draft's going to be a little bit more even, shouldn't Beast Coast run away with this? Is that too simple to say?
I think it's too simple, but at the same time, you've got to be a little bit concerned for IG when you have this big of an advantage in 2 Aegis and you make the game this hard, that if Beast Coast come out of the lanes even and then still have that team fight aspect, they can win. But that's the challenging thing. How do you draft a lineup that has really good team fight, really good laning, and scales? I think the one team that has really impressed me with that lately has been Secret in this tournament, that have managed to just tick all of those boxes in their draft, and the other teams are a little bit behind. So
we're talking a lot of trash about Beast Coast's draft, but you have to remember, even though they did get countered, they still had Magnus plus PL, two heroes that are highly contested right now, meta heroes, and there's a reason why they were able to come back. PL is just, like, how many times did we see Miracle just lose the game for 30 minutes and then come back versus anything with the PL?
That's true, that's true. It didn't happen this time around though, but perhaps the next game round, Beast Coast will get another chance, and they will have that chance after the break.
Great Gaming Esports, professional esports housemaker.
Multiple witnesses have reported mysterious shadow sightings all around the city. According to experts, the origin of these shadows is
coming in for the kill. Better head full speed, knocking down doors. If you're hoping that you're gonna get what's yours, then you gotta raise your game. Come on, come on, come on. If you're gonna stake that claim, come on, come on, come on. I said you better raise your game. Come on, come on, come on, man. If you're gonna stake that claim, come on, come on, to the bridge. Come on. Now, we can't stop, it's impossible. We're pushing through the blocks and the obstacles. We do it even if the plot's not optimal. And we haven't been caught, never lost control. So we get props when we lock and load and keep the spot hot like a pasta bowl. We do a whole lot to accomplish goals. Now back to the top, let's rock and roll. You better raise your game. Come on, come on, come on. If you're gonna stake that claim, come on, come on, come on. Man, you better raise your game. Come on, come on, come on. If you're gonna stake that claim, come on, come on. Make it fucking now. Break it down and raise your game. You got to just raise your game. You think you better raise your game. Come on, man. Raise your game.
I'm gonna build a houseboat on the bayou. It's gonna be a mighty, mighty pretty sight to see. I'm gonna make it nice and painted red with a little kitchen and a double bed. I'm gonna build a houseboat, it's gonna be a love boat. I'm gonna build a houseboat for you and me. When we wanna move, we'll pull the anchor up. We're never gonna have to stay in just one spot. We can let the time pass, floating through the tall grass. And when the time is right, we'll tie the knot. I'm gonna build a houseboat on the bayou. It's gonna be a mighty, mighty pretty sight to see. I'm gonna make it nice and painted red with a little kitchen and a double bed. I'm gonna build a houseboat, it's gonna be a love boat. I'm gonna build a houseboat for you and me.
Elimination on the line here in Leipzig. IG and beastcoast going head-to-head. Game 2, IG already one game up, but we're in the draft because that's how we roll here. So I'm very curious to see what these two teams have in store for each other. We decided beastcoast had a rough draft in game number 1. We're expecting them to at least do better in the draft, and then hopefully for them also better in the game, of course. But what are we seeing? We're seeing two bans. IG, ban out Disruptor, no surprise, and an Omni Knight ban.
I think it was beastcoast that banned it out the last time,
Yes.
right? Because they didn't have first pick, but they left the Wisp. So
Yeah.
this time around, it's IG that has the first ban. They get out.
And beastcoast still ban out IO.
And they banned that out being the first pick team. And if you do that now in the tournament, that's kind of showing we don't
give away.
We don't play this hero.
So if you're an IO team, you pretty much get a free ban from the other team now.
Yeah, exactly.
Or they're playing the long game where they're going to expect people to think that they won't pick it, but once they're in the grand finals.
In their elimination game,
I
they're taking the risk in the elimination game.
I like playing the long game when you're down 1-0. That's
Really good plan.
that's confidence, if
It
they are.
is. See, there you go, cockiness.
And the Bloodseeker pretty much only getting banned versus beastcoast. We saw,
Yeah.
I believe they played it once or twice, and I mean, it's the one really quick hero that Hector plays, like where it comes online way quicker and he just gets involved super
It
quick.
just fits their playstyle so well. They like to be on this quick timer. They want to be brawling all the time, creating chaos in that mid game, and a hero such as Bloodseeker definitely allows them to do that.
And it kind of forces the Slark ban here, I think, from beastcoast. If they don't want to first pick that, that would have been one solution beastcoast would traditionally go for to the Slark, and now that's not available to them. They probably don't feel confident enough that this is an overall first pick for their team, and don't want to give it away on 8-9.
That's what happened in the last match as well. Bloodseeker was banned in the first stage, and IG picked up Slark.
So what's in? Treant?
Doom's in this time.
Doom is in, yeah. There we go.
Definitely going to be a Doom.
Did they play Doom without Doom? Is it them?
Yes, that's them.
It was
Please,
Hector
no.
playing it, and it, yeah.
They played it, so far, Beast Coast has only played Doom once this entire tournament, and they ran it on Hector, and it was level 12 when he finally skilled
first point
his
Doom,
ability.
And then they lost when he was level 14.
Yes.
So
Wait, they lost by not skilling Doom on Doom?
Yes.
No.
I believe that's what I saw, yes.
It happened.
This can't be true. I'm trying to imagine a world where that makes sense unless you're specifically not fighting at all until you're level 12.
Which is not really the Beast Coast style, like they fight.
No. That's.
I think Fogg.
Maybe
Fogg asked him, and he said, I think he just laughed and said a meme answer, but he didn't give a real answer. So maybe it's like,
what's the real answer?
Yeah, exactly.
How do you give it?
Like,
I forgot.
Whoops, I don't know.
Yeah, so I was going to say I think IG need to pick Lich as one of their two, because I think Lich Doom is just extremely powerful. It's strong laning. It's I feel like Lich covers Doom's very few weaknesses, low armor, as well as ability to stay on top of heroes. You give him a slow and armor in one spell, he just runs in. When he has BKB, he's kind of invincible with the Frost Shield on, so yeah, just an amazing one too, and now IG take it away.
What about Grimstroke Doom, though? I thought that was the go-to.
That's also really strong, but Lich is definitely better at the moment. Yeah. They go with the Legion Commander as well, one of the heroes that Beast Coast excels at. Lilith loves that. But at the same time, Enchantress is a pretty decent pick versus the Lich. It's all right, you have that enchant to take off the Frost Armor.
JT played this hero a lot at the first minor, at the Summit minor. JT was like playing Legion. Everyone else was playing these Abbott Omni. He was like the only one playing Legion, so good to see him bring it back. Also, can we talk about Doom getting Ice Ogre with level 1 Devour? How is getting 8 armor, an attack slow that works on buildings as well at level 1?
And ranged heroes.
Like, right? That's definitely not okay.
I still love Wolf more, though. I love Wolf way more. You get in that lane and you crit people for 200 damage level 1. And if you get it fast enough, though.
There's something to be said about that, though. It's like, if you go back a year, Doom's options in the start of what creep you wanted to find were way more limited. Now there's just so many good creeps. A lot of matchups you love the Ice Ogre, a lot of matchups you love the Wolf, certain matchups you love the Purge, and you can even get Mana Burn in some lanes. So it feels like there's never really ever going to be that game where you're like, oh man, I'm just not finding a good creep. There's like 5 different great options level 1 now, and yeah, it's just helped him out a lot, where in the past you were a little bit more RNG dependent or matchup dependent than you are now. So there's a lot of good stuff. I feel like if I had to choose before the game started, before the draft started, and I'm like, I have a Doom in my team, what do I want him to take? I would want the Ice Armor. That would be my #1 choice. The skill is incredible
8 armor.
in almost every game right now. Wolf can be fantastic if you have the right lineup for it, but you're never really going to say no to an attack speed and move speed slow as well as plus armor, right? On technically your whole team, I think you can have it on at the same time.
I like the ban from IG as well. They get rid of the Life Stealer. Usually Legion Commander was considered really strong versus LS on the lane, right? You just go there and dominate. But it was before the patch. I've seen so many Nyxes just dominate that lane right now. Because of the way the Feast has been reworked, it's a much easier lane for Nyx.
Do you like the no boots Maelstrom we're seeing on like every Life Stealer? I know it's banned.
I love it. I love it.
Right.
Yeah. I think it's basically what did you do before with the Nyx? It doesn't have to be no boots. Sometimes you buy a chainmail, blades of attack, whatever. But before a Nyx, you would have to go Midas, right? To scale well and also gives you that attack speed. Right now, you don't have that option. But Maelstrom at least allows you to farm really fast, and because of that, it's decent.
And when you have the passive attack speed from Feast, you build up so much damage with just a Javelin. It has made him like a twice as strong laner in a lot of matchups. He's incredible. He went from being good specifically against tanky heroes to being good against pretty much anything in lane.
Okay.
And that really makes a huge... With the Javelin build, that is. If you don't go Javelin, he's actually a relatively weak laner.
We had a Rubik first phase ban previous game, and this time around Beast Coast bans it in the second phase. It was IG banning it previous game, by the way.
Really interesting as well, because we didn't see a lot of Rubik in the playoffs, right? Like the hero is amazing, and on the minor it was one of the highest win rates with most picked games. But here, he fell off completely. And
It's been all about the frost supports. Everybody wants the winter wyverns and the ancient apparitions and the liches. Actually, ancient apparition, not even that much, but depending on how much regen and sustain a team goes for.
We saw Zai play it in the offlane once. Like,
Yeah.
It's versus Morphling usually.
Yeah.
Or Alchemist, which we haven't seen much of this tournament.
Crystal Maiden here and there. All right, we got Naga Rubik banned on the side of Beast Coast. IG is thinking about their ban into pick combination. That always takes a little bit longer. This is the strategic point for a team. So what do they not want to fit? Like, should they still be worried about the Grimstroke?
No, I don't think so.
They ban out the Lash. Is
I like
it
the
PL
Dino.
still?
Yeah.
Yeah, they're going to go
I
with
like
PL.
it.
Okay. Now, the difference between this lane and the lane from the last game is that Lich PL is a strong lane and Wyvern PL is a pretty weak lane. Lich is just one of the hands-down strongest laners right now. You have constant influx of regen that you can sense. You can spam Frost Blast basically off cooldown. You can start with as many mangoes as you want almost.
6 to 7, I think most people are. Like, actually, it's
just
crazy.
go in.
And the armor works so well with the PL because he can catch a target, he can get on top of you super easily, and that's where that Frost armor kicks in.
Yep.
And unlike a lot of the pros, if you didn't know, your Sinister Gaze does drain mana. A lot of pros tweeted out yesterday they didn't know that. Did you know that, Sin?
I feel like I'm getting baited here.
No,
I feel like I'm getting baited
No,
as
Sinister
well.
Gaze does drain mana.
It does drain mana, actually.
And pros tweeted out, like, I think Puppy was like, oh, I didn't know that worked like that. It's just like one of those things.
How much mana though?
It's percentage. I don't
percentage
actually know. It
based.
is percentage.
So on the lane, it's not really
It's
significant.
not that great, but it's just one of those weird things.
But they had to do it because Lich is going to have your mana, right?
Yeah.
Yes, they didn't.
right,
They
Get
weren't.
rid of the voice
they
line.
can't
Yeah,
do
like,
They weren't
exactly.
getting rid of that
Right,
voice
so
line.
they changed that in 7.23, I think, right? So it's a relatively new thing. The original
it's definitely
Sinister
new.
Gaze did not do it.
No,
and
it
then,
did not. It just got changed recently, yeah.
Okay. For
I'm
some
not
reason,
baiting
when you
you.
said it, I was like, is that tied to the eggs? But he just has it in base? Okay.
He just has it, yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I'm not a support player, so I don't know. Stuff like that.
Good.
Totally don't play
You
Lich.
definitely don't play Lich at all, right? No, we're not one
I
of your
never
heroes.
played Lich in my life.
All right, a
They take the
Tiny
Tiny.
coming out.
They played this Tiny, not on Schofield actually, the last time they did, right?
They did. They played it, the last time they did it, it was on Schofield versus Vici.
And they played on Hector once.
But they played
as well,
on Hector
a
as
while
well.
ago.
And they played it a while ago. They played it versus Secret on Hector. So it is flexible. And of course, the puck is played mostly by Schofield, but again, it's a very flexible hero. So there's a lot of variables on the side of Beast Coast. Like even Doom can play so many different positions.
I love the Skyrat because of many things here. It fits their lineup super well. We've seen Secret run this Skyrat yesterday and they crushed. Yapsor was just a god on him. Basically, in this particular match, you have the old school combination Legion Commander plus Skyrat. What does Legion? Yeah, exactly. What does Legion lack in those duels? Damage. You get that Skyrat with the ultimate. Also, you have instant silence for the puck. It won't keep him in spot, but you get that silence. You get Atos, and it's good enough already.
Just find a clumsy net.
Yeah.
It's not that hard.
Yeah,
Just go in the jungle a bit. Yeah, and you even, like the icing on top here is that I think Skywrath Mage is actually a really good hero against Doom. Doom can die very quickly to these massive amounts of burst where you feel confident going in. Skywrath Silence amplifies Lich's damage by a lot. It's no joke. You really need a BKB or a pipe solution, and looks like it's going to be the pipe route. Beast Coast used this, I want to say both games they played against Nigma's PL. Lelis was playing the Underlord, and they won both those games. So
but look at the other heroes then. They have Puck, Doom, and Tiny.
I think I know Stinger in a lot of NA pubs. He plays a lot of Doom. I don't know
Doom
how well it is.
position 5?
Yeah, he plays a lot of 5-position Doom as well as Puck. He actually does play
Versus
both. I think it's
Legion
Doom,
plus
though.
Skyrat.
I don't want to play 5 Doom against Legion Sky.
Yeah.
Would you rather play Doom or Puck? Because you're getting one of those two.
That is rough.
So Tiny is definitely mid, right?
I just think Tiny's not a 5. I don't know where he's going.
Tiny could be position 1.
Yeah.
Could be mid.
This is Beast Coast. It's probably
it's
position
they
1
played
Doom,
Doom and
level
Abaddon
12.
mid.
Oh, you're right. It probably is
The
one
only
Doom.
thing I think we can be sure of is that Underlord is played by Lelites. He's the only one that played, and he
We'll
played
give him
a lot.
that.
Yep.
So that's the only thing that we can be 100% sure of.
They had a lot of success.
95%.
They had a lot of success with this Underlord versus PL as well. He brings an item build that isn't super strange, but hasn't been built for quite a while. That Atos build on Underlord.
And he built a Basher as well, didn't he?
Later on, yeah, he had the best.
First item.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Let's go.
But it's so good. You have Pit of Malice, you have that Atos. It's a lot of control.
You're playing against a hard to spell this game, though, so I don't know if Oh, well, any Dispel, really,
Yeah,
right?
that's true.
The Legion Commander might counter. I think they need a pipe in this game. There's way too much magic damage from IG's lineup. Skywrath, Legion Nuke, Lich, and even one pick to come that might have more magic components. It seems almost mandatory. If you don't go pipe on Underlord, you're forcing all your cores to get BKB's second item, or they will die in a duel. You have no save against duel plus Skywrath combo. The heroes will absolutely die.
But I mean, if they get dueled...
That's why I think it is a tiny. I was actually looking at this, I'm like, this feels like a tiny, because that actually is all you can do versus any of them.
It's true. Tiny Toss can... It
can be a save.
It's really gimmicky, right? You need to have a dagger, you need to be near, and you need to have something to toss him on when he gets dueled. Yep. So it's a lot of...
They banned out the TA.
Yeah, we're
I guess
looking for
Puck
an
is
emo
mid,
hero.
right?
Maybe. I was thinking Peck. They might just pick another strange hero and put the Doom middle. We saw Armel just completely dominate a game. I don't know. I mean, I'm sure Chris Luck plays it. He seems to play crazy heroes mid, but...
The thing is, when you have a Puck in your draft and you ban a TA, it's kind of giving that the Puck will be mid, but it doesn't have to be.
That's Beast Coast for us this tournament. Who knows?
It doesn't have to be.
There are so many different options for their squad.
Broodmother is still in the pool, but there's Legion Commander. I don't think you want that matchup.
They're going for the Bane. So Bane is going to be a support. I hope so.
I think it's the carry Doom then, right? I would say it's probably that over the tiny.
It is Beast Coast. What is the odds to have Bane as a core?
This is their solution, I guess, to core Bane.
No.
I'm guessing this is their defensive solution for Legion Commander, so that they can Nightmare the duel, and it's a defensive support that has presence in lane. Because you could pick something like Oracle, but Oracle's just not a strong laner right now.
It's like the only one that matches up well against Lich, but has that same presence. Like he's good.
Oh, they played Dark Warden before,
and they banned it. Beast Coast banned it last game in the second phase, so they were worried about it before.
And when you look at this lineup, you don't really have a carry that scales versus Arc Warden later on. You don't have someone that's going to get on top of him and just wipe him.
Oh, it is a position 1 Doom.
It is position 1 Doom.
So maybe it's without Doom.
Please, skill
in an elimination game.
Let's do it. Please. Not even level 6, sure. Level 7 you can do it. Just kill it before level 10. That's all I want. I don't know. I think IG outdrafted him very heavily again, personally.
They have insane late game. Arc Warden PL in this game with their matchups later on. There's not much in the way of AoE solutions from Beast Coast, so I feel like they're a bit on a timer and need to fight, but this time their lanes should overall go better than last game.
And you know what? Beast Coast likes to fight early on. They're the kind of a team that really likes that aggression, and if this draft doesn't allow them to do that, nothing does.
It seems quite simple. Can Beast Coast fight their way into a third game of the series? We're going to find out. Let's head over to Cap and Kyle.
Both these teams have already secured themselves top 8 at a major, but it's top 6 and above that really helps your journey to the international. You go from 450 points here to getting knocked out to 900 or more as you get top 6 and above. Beast Coast, they've already done a good job placing top 6 at TI. They don't want to end their major run here against IG.
Definitely not, but this is one of those lineups that's a very, very much a Beast Coast special. I don't think any other team in the tournament is going to do anything like this. The K1 Hector Doom, safe lane carry. And they've used it to try to beat a PL in the past. I don't know if I believe in this, but if there was somebody that could make it work, it would be him.
Yeah, I mean, if they're going to go out, they might as well go out in their own terms, right? And such a unique strategy that Beast Coast has certainly made their own. See whether or not it's effective, as once again, they're left in a situation where they are going to have to win the lanes and move from there. But do they have a better chance at that, Kyle, winning the lanes?
They should. I mean, you've got Bane and a tiny support duo against a Lich Skywrath, so you should have a slight edge there. IG don't have nearly as many stuns as they did in the previous game. Their draft will be a bit slower. You have a PL Arc Warden, of course, and Beast Coast definitely able to ramp up the aggression. But to your point, you've got to do well in the laning phase. Up top, Skywrath LC versus Bane Doom. Not sure how this one will go.
Stinger. He's going to be on the front lines here. And going to be trying and tanking all those hits for the Doom. That way the Doom can get those higher levels. Chris Luck committed to be able to kill Emo's Courier. A good start here. Did take a little bit of damage in return, but I'm sure it's well worth it to keep the Arc Warden's regen from flowing.
Up top, this lane is all about trading. Beast Coast, you have the Devour Sustain for the Doom and the Spam Brain Sap from Stinger. So very tough for Skywrath to get anything done up here. Kaka is going to most likely look to be rotating a bit. I'm surprised they did put the Chris Luck puck mid.
Drops the nuke. JT going to try and go for Stinger a bit, but they have such a big creep wave pushing in. They don't really need to commit too much. Chris Luck earlier willingly had his salve canceled by Emo in order to trade a little bit. He's going to try and abuse that Courier, but a Courier is still a long ways away. So while it's away, Chris Luck actually even getting hit by that Spark Wraith. Emo's just going to abuse him for this time.
He's doing really well so far. No surprise, though, to be honest, after watching Emo play that first game. He was dominant pretty much all throughout.
I think Emo is just one of those players that he's certainly shown himself to be high risk, high reward kind of style into the mid game, but his aggressive style when it comes to the laning phase seems to prove very effective against a lot of these opposing mid laners.
And Chris Luck, no stranger to that either. Although he jukes the Spark Wraith, so he will keep his salve for just a little bit longer. Top Stinger taking some pressure, has a big stick.
He's going to turn around on Kaka. That's one of the beauties of the Bane pickup. Such an efficient hero at trading, thanks to the Brain Sap. And it is creating the space. Hector is currently top of the CS board right now, 13-0. Of course, Fly is getting plenty of free farm himself here in the bottom lane with a few more denies against Lelis.
It is so tense. Chris Luck keeps taking a ton of damage. Emo's already been forced to use 2 salves, same with Chris. They're just consistently playing aggressive. Both heroes, CS, suffering just a little bit because of it.
It seems like a Chris Luck versus Emo matchup is always destined to be right on the edge at all times. Both players on the edge of potentially losing. K1 Hector actually going down in top lane as Kaka picks up the first blood. Already the Beast Coast carry off to a bit of a rocky start from the pressure of this Skywrath Legion lane. Classic dual lane. Lelis taking some damage here as well. Fly making sure to stay in range to be able to get those Frost Armor hits.
Got the second point in Lance too, looking to make a move. But nope, they'll just be content forcing both bottom laners off the lane. And once again, it's IG jumping out to an early lead in the laning phase. All 3 lanes top of the CS.
Oh, they do get the Frost Armor for Hector, so maybe that'll make a difference. Back over to bottom lane. Once again, Lelis is being abused. The Tiny isn't here to be able to bail him out, so it's looking like Fly has an easy kill on his hands, 2-0.
Lich plus any sort of melee carry that has a reach mechanic, Ember, Slark, PL, the top 3. It's near impossible to outlane these guys. And it's not just the CS the advantage comes from, it's the denies. Already 9 up on the PL. And they've got lane control,
Look at this,
too.
Chris Luck. He's trying to commit for the kill. He has the Flux on him. He's going to be forced to pop the Fairy Fire. There's Spark Wraith he has to jump away from. But Kaka locks down the kill with a concussive shot before the phase shift could come up.
So close. Maybe a quarter of a second away from surviving. Perhaps even less. Looked like 1 or 2 frames would have been enough.
Schofield does have Avalanche and Toss ready to go, but only has the mana for one of them. So he's trying to get the Toss range because it's the higher level right now. But wasn't able to close that distance, sadly. K1 Hector trying to push it, but Chris Luck once again tries to get aggressive on Emo, and that means Kaka pounces again with a killing spree. Kaka has been tearing it up this game.
Really nice rotation, not just killing the puck once, but they get him on the TP as well. So all of a sudden, Chris Luck will have absolutely no game, and Puck is not one of those heroes like Magnus that can just go to the jungle and recover. You need to snowball. When you look at the CS, he's already out-denied in comparison to his creep kills, and he's died twice. Bottle is still a pipe dream. This is an Arc Warden of Emo free farming.
There's no other way to say it. This is looking like a disaster for Beast Coast. We said at the end of game one, they could not afford to lose 3 lanes, and it's looking like they just might. Top is the best lane for Beast Coast right now, and JT still has 22 CS as the offlaner.
Not much to comment on, and the concern is that, you know, Beast Coast, who's really going to be making the plays, right? You have a K1 Hector Doom in one, and Lelis on the Underlord in the other side lane. It's really just the Puck that can make moves, and his game is by far the worst of any of his cores, and I believe he's just died again.
Chris Luck silenced, is going to be able to get off the waiting rip to dodge some of that damage, but with the flux and the right clicks from Kaka, it's too much. Stinger is going to try and turn things around here. The Tempest double is hoping to be able to help Kaka, but the toss over, onto the, okay, it's not going to be enough to kill the Arc Warden. It brings him a little bit low, but now it's actually the turnaround onto Schofield. The Spark Wraith lands on a Stinger instead, though. Good job by him, tanking some of the damage, preventing the damage onto Schofield.
That was really well played by Emo. He was tanking tower with his clone as that went on, and constantly casting spells from both. Kaka now TP's mid to collect some free XP and place a handy lane ward. You can see the emphasis they have on this lane. They already have one behind the tower, now one in front of it as well. Not just protecting the Arc Warden, but keeping a tab on the enemy's playmaker. Really good decision.
Is K1 Hector gonna do it? I feel like level 6, he's not gonna level Doom. No, nope. He's not. This man is serious about his farm. With a 3-2-1 build, 0 in his namesake. Puck in some serious trouble once again. Has to stay near the creep wave at the same time to be able to dodge some of this damage, and has to jump away from the Spark Race. Will be able to get out this time around, but they are just pressuring him and making sure he doesn't get any levels whatsoever. See Schofield trying to get the last hit onto the Tempest double for some of that bounty gold, but it evaporates before he could kill it.
And look at Kaka. He's just playing this area of the map, and he threatens mid, and he had vision of Chris Luck as well, so if he had wandered forwards, would have just been caught with the silence, he probably dies right after. I like the build, 1-2-2 on the Sky, extra points in silence, super value, not just for the damage amp for your Arc Warden's abilities as well, but obviously you're playing against a Puck.
Yeah, the length of the silence is critical in being able to get the kill on this mid laner, but the mid laner is gone, and it's Schofield who almost tanks another death here for Beast Coast. 5-1, top lane. They do actually level up Doom. Hey, Hector, are you going to get a kill because of that, or is it going to be denied? No, the slept up Lich was unable to stop the Doom from killing JT. Back over to mid lane. Puck once again. Schofield quite low as well. Tempest double chasing both of them away. 4 Wraith bands on this Arc Warden.
I was going to say, it's a really cool build. He has so much stat.
Uh-oh. Okay, Stinger is going to set this nightmare up. Schofield's going to toss him over to Chris Luck. Chris Luck, they don't have they do have the avalanche there in time to be able to stop that TP Emo. Misreading the situation, will die underneath the tower. Lelis survives at bottom as well. But a duel on a Stinger. They do get their first duel win for IG.
Yeah, really nice movement from JT. And as always, IG, they're doing a great job of whenever a core moves, has to heal, rotates out, there's a support to take the lane under tower. Kaka was just once again taking some free XP, and now he's got level 6. Suddenly the next duel on effectively any target, that's just going to be another kill. And bottom lane, because PL got off to such a great start, he's able to double up the CS of this Underlord all by himself. Already quite farmed with level 7 and max Phantom Rush available.
Yeah, Lelis just doesn't have much of a game, as you could see. He every single time he shows up in lane, he's getting Phantom Rushed by the Phantom Lancer, and eventually gets a little bit too low that he's forced to retreat entirely.
You almost got 6 on Stinger. He's trying to make a move. He'd love to be able to kill this Phantom Lancer. It's much easier said than done for this hero. Bane typically hates playing against illusion heroes.
Back over to mid lane. Emo challenging Chris Luck once again. He has to jump away from those spark rays. The phase shift wasn't up. Is he going to die to it now as the second one's laid out? Looks like Chris Luck will escape again, as he does have his phase shift, so even if the spark rays were on top of him, he'd be good. Stinger, as you said, has some issues with all his single target damage with illusion heroes, and that's why Fly was able to chase him away. Oh, actually lands back inside the pit. Fly, his real hero has been discovered, but there is going to be Kaka to be able to intercept and slow down Lelis. They'll be able to pick up the bounty room, but Kaka is going to be chased away and won't be able to nab that outpost. So it's going to be even Firestorm laid out. Oh, the damage quickly taking out Stinger, but they do have the coil onto the two of them. It's all worth it if they can get the Phantom Lancer kill, in which they do. Chris Luck with the Waning Rift gets the kill. Phase shifts out the concussive shot and escapes rather cleanly, leaving Lelis to take the outpost.
Yep, 1-for-1 trade now, so not bad for Beast Coast. They're going to claim the bottom right as IG claim the top left. Immediate a smoke from Stinger. He just hit 6. They want to make a move ASAP. Looks like JT's the target.
With a Fiend's Grip and a completely isolated offlaner, this should be an easy kill. But they don't even need that. If they're going to go for the Doom on a JT, there is some TP rotations coming in from IG, both on the tower and the outpost, but both are going to be too slow.
A nice job there from Fly waking himself up with the illusion. And a real TP in from Emo. I like this. Typically, Arc Wardens don't like to get involved. We saw yesterday, EG played it effectively just completely passively. I like this build and the playstyle from Emo. 4 Wraith Bands. Look at this here, almost 1,400 HP. Like, it's 11 minutes into the game, and when he pops the clone, that'll also be benefiting from significantly increased durability, and you can play aggressively. You do a lot of damage in the early game.
Jumping away, Fly is going to try and surround this tower, cut down the trees to make it uncomfortable for Beast Coast to try and defend, and that's why Beast Coast isn't even going to approach that lane. They're going to smoke up, run through mid, because Lelis is trying to do the same on the other side of the map. It'd be great if they can get a kill somewhere here. JT trying to go for the duel, but is stuck inside the coil. Now the supports are going to be able to close that distance with the Fiend's Grip. There is going to be a TP in from the Lich, but they toss away the Legion Commander underneath the tower, making it nice and easy.
Not bad at all. 7-6, JT game. He started off with a quick duel, but just died a couple times in rapid succession. Bottom rune going to go the way of Chris Luck. Has coil and 45, looking to haste towards bottom. One downside of the Beast Coast line, but they don't really have much tower push. Their team fighting is solid for sure. They can find kills, but it's tough to collect objectives afterwards.
They will soon have an overwhelming strength coming from K1 Hector, but they don't have Hector here in the bottom lane where they're trying to go for the kill on a Kaka, but now the puck has been silenced, unable to commit, Pain retreat. But they still have this tower kind of surrounded, and IG, they did not bring a whole lot of reinforcements, just JT. That's because Emo's trying to kill Schofield on the other side of the map, but Chris Luck still trying to go for this on a Skywrath Mage, dodges into the trees, needs the help of his allies here, especially as he's silenced. A concussive shot, though, not landing on Chris Luck is important there, but it does slow down Stinger, allowing Kaka to get that kill instead. Beast Coast, just an entirely wrong read on that situation. Thought they could be aggressive, but Chris Luck leads Stinger into a trap.
Yeah, really nice there from Chris Luck. He saw the Lich coming and knew that it was not a good decision to orb forwards. Instead, he just farms an extra creep wave, then TP's home. And should hopefully give a shout out to Stinger, because he did certainly save his core's life there with that Hex at the cost of his own.
As we saw from the relic timing, we know that K1 Hector is very close to his Radiance, and this is Beast Coast's most successful strategy to date throughout the last years, when K1 Hector is a sizable amount of net worth ahead of everybody else. Here, he's 2K up on Phantom Lancer.
He has 121 CS, and yeah, as you said, 2K gold. I know a lot of that's because he maxes Devour, but still, he has Radiance. It's 13.5 minutes.
Well, he maxed Devour, and he did the Scorched Earth damage talent, as opposed to the last game where he went to movement speed. So that's going to help him clear through those neutral creeps even faster, and leading to such a large lead.
He always manages to find a way to just absolutely enormous.
Minute faster than anyone at this tournament, but there's going to be the duel, and okay, Chain Frost and the Skywrath Mage ultimate just to make sure that they do win said duel.
Now the question is, do you get aggressive with this Doom? He's more durable thanks to that ice armor, 1,600 HP, but does he farm, try and accelerate? What timing do you make? your move as Beast Coast? That is the question, because he still dies to the magic damage in a duel. And an Atos on Kaka?
Yeah,
what?
you could see it right there. Sizable chunk taken out by the concussive shot. They are going to be able to get the coil. They look for that toss away, and that's why JT is desperately trying to get away from Schofield. Eventually, it's going to break. They've committed so much, though, and K1 Hector actually getting tossed away is going to be saved. He was certainly dead inside that river, but Schofield with the clutch toss.
That was so sick. Hector is so much net worth. You cannot allow him to die, not just because of the bounty that IG would get, but then it slows down his pace, right? He can clear an entire jungle in just one respawn timer. And as you said, Schofield wisely not using the toss on JT saves the day. Look at the vision, though, placed already by IG. Again, Atos up on the sky already. Him plus anybody's going to find a kill. And they've got 3 wards around this bottom area of the map.
Hey, you got a Rod of Atos, but Lelis, he found a Rod of Atos inside the jungle. A clumsy net, the perfect item for an Underlord. Now he can chain stun people underneath the Pit of Malice. You just pit first, then clumsy net. They're going to get caught again as the clumsy net fades away.
Yeah, and oh my god, of all the items to find, a Nether Shawl. I'm sure that'll go straight to Kaka. 8% spell amp.
Schofield is trying to juke and jive as slow as he is, but he feels like, oh, thank God, I just escaped. But a smoke comes from the 2 supports. They're going to run in. K1 Hector immediately trying to blow him up. That magic damage is too much for him to handle. Just the Radiance. It's not enough for Beast Coast. If they want to be able to fight with this Doom, they're going to need something more. But Emo, the late game Arcor, oh, nice avalanche to toss on top of the 2 of them. That's a really nice one, but they need a little bit more damage on Kaka, and Lelis's clumsy net wasn't good enough here. Both of them limp away, sub 100 HP. Kaka, they just need 1 hit. Are they going to fight him in time? Cuts him down. Lelis hunts down Kaka and claims that dominating kill streak. Meanwhile, Stinger does manage to grab Ollie as well.
Yeah, nice outplay there from Stinger. He kind of juked back and forth. Ollie was trying to get in for the Nova and Gaze, but outranged by the Brain Sap. Ends up trading his life. And we haven't seen Fly much, but that's because he's been in the jungle just farming away. He has the defusal finished. In spitting distance now of K1 only 1,000 behind, who it looks like it will be a BKB next item for the Doom. I like that decision because then he's nigh invulnerable. But as we saw, this isn't even level 12 Skywrath. In just the space of an Atos, he went from 100 to 0.
Now, I know neither one of us are Arc Warden players, but it is interesting how the philosophy on Arc Warden has changed with this recent setup of just maxing out these Wraith Bands and then going for an early Maelstrom. You're entirely focusing on Arc Warden being a mid-game hero. That can, of course, scale into the late game, but Arc Wardens of old, they were all about picking up Hand of Midases and Boots of Travels and farming.
I think it's easier to do that when you have a PL, though, right? Like, you can trust that Fly is going to be able to take this into the late game, and I don't feel like you can afford to run 2 cores just in the jungle through the mid game. You want to get aggressive, and it's the same thing with Emo's Leshrac, right? He went for this more fighting style of play and got involved, and I really like that he's doing that because his supports need somebody with them. Lich Skywrath can't just roam through the jungle safely, and the Legion Commander not yet closing on a blink, not even going for one yet, so.
It's very similar to the way we talk about how Beast Coast, their most successful strategies are with K1 Hector, with the gigantic lead being the hard anchor. IG feels like their most successful strategy is where Emo just fully focuses on mid-game and creating space, not necessarily being that hard mid-carry that other teams like to run.
Indeed. And they take top tier 2, they play some nice vision. I expect them to just leave Fly now in the top dire jungle, and the rest of the squad just can continue to hunt. Go chase Beast Coast out of the Radiant Woods as they look to shove out middle. A big advantage for IG right now is that they have their mid tower still at near full HP, whereas Beast Coast fell some time ago. They have so much map control in this top portion of the map, Beast Coast can't really play inside of IG's woods as effectively.
Full out pipe for Lelis. That'll certainly help both him and the rest of his team, especially that Doom, dealing with that intense amount of magic damage coming from IG. Still trying to rush a BKB for K1 Hector. The rest of his team is going to smoke up while he farms away.
They're just playing enemy jungle. This is the way to do it. You have a slight edge on the side of IG, but a lot of that net worth is on the Doom.
Successfully break the smoke without being spotted here until, well, Ollie tries in vain to get away from Beast Coast, but there's too many of them. Still though, a fine position going down for a smoke, not bad at all for IG.
Yep, they're still farming the PL. In turn, of course, so is K1. Still playing with that ice armor creep. As soon as he gets BKB, he will be invulnerable. The question is, does his team have the damage? Radiant's hero plus Puck is always solid, but a lot of pressure on Chris Luck to have some pretty impressive spell casting. Went for the rushed Yules, and there's no blink initiation anytime soon for the side of Beast Coast because you actually have a Force Staff picked up by Schofield. I imagine that's just primarily for the Atos, right? You want to make sure that nobody can just get 100 to 0'd in the duration of that lockdown Skywrath ultimate combo.
For sure. There's also the possibility of sometimes some cheeky offensive Force Staffs underneath the coil.
And we've got a pipe finished on Lelis. One of the few games I will admit this is by far a need for a rushed pipe because you're just playing against so much magic damage.
Yeah, don't consider anything else. BKB is done for Beast Coast. So this is the timing window where Beast Coast is very strong in team fights. They're expected to beat IG in the fights. It's a question of how much can they get done during this window before the Phantom Lancer starts getting too big.
He's going to have his Manta complete in just a few moments. Fly finishing it up in the jungle. And look, it is one of the community's favorite neutral items, the Philosopher's Stone onto the Lich.
Lelis with an Invis rune is going to be able to spot a pretty important kill, Kaka. He has been very impactful this game. He's going to be able to drop his combination. Of course, Lelis will make sure to tank it with him. They also managed to catch Ollie and JT back-to-back kills for Beast Coast. So sure enough, right as they hit their big power spike, they find several pickoffs. See what they're able to accomplish with that, though.
That is huge. Yeah, as we said, they have very hard times taking objectives. Towers, they don't have any natural enemies on the Beast Coast lineup right now. So they're going to find kills and then just look to hit top. As you can see, it's just, slowly hit them with these strength heroes. Emo puts in his clone.
That clone is awfully tanky, too. He has the 350 health town on top of all those Wraith bands, so he's not really in danger of TPing it in and immediately feeding away that gold. He can successfully defend towers. Beast Coast not going to bother with that, though. If they can catch Fly, it would be really big, and Schofield is managing to find the right one, but he tosses the wrong Manta illusions back. They do manage to get the coil on the Phantom Lancer, though. You'll have to be able to get rid of the silence. Kaka, and he's not able to turn any damage out here. He's going to be slept up. Chris Luck trying to deal with some of these illusions, but he doesn't have the damage and the illusions at half health to chase away the rest of Beast Coast.
Yeah, K1 didn't take the free Uber out because he wanted to stick up top, but unfortunately has to call for a taxi anyway. He has TPs to bottom lane, but he's too late. And now he does find Kaka, though.
Kaka.
Hello.
He thought he could just hang out there, but sentries and stuff. Spotting his Shadow Amulet, full Mjolnir now for the Arc Warden. Fly, not bothering to fight anybody, can still farm and just push away from Beast Coast at all times is what IG's game plan is going to be right now.
And you can see Beast Coast's game plan, which is just run at this Phantom Lancer with your Underlord Doom. This is what they did in the past against the PL, because they know that into the super late game, PL starts to outscale them, but for now, you don't really have the ability to maintain illusion armies against the Rain of Fire and the Radiance.
And that's where they really need that extra mobility. Right, they need to make sure the puck can actually grab people when they, smoke close to them. They got to get that strong initiation because right now IG is just dodging fights nonstop. If they can get another Blink Dagger on the Tiny, I'm actually not sure what his item progression has been like.
But you got one on Chris Luck now. That's key. He needed to go for the Yules first. You're playing against these silences. You've got to be able to get rid of it. And now you can hunt. It's just, again, it's so difficult because this mid tower is still standing for IG, so the entrances into really the entire map just get more complicated for Beast Coast. They do have a slight lead. A lot of that net worth, though, it's all on K1. And this hero is going to just outfarm everybody else in the game. You rush the Radiance, you've got the Devour bonus gold talent. It's 350 every eat.
What do you think about the Manta pickup? It's kind of interesting.
I mean, that's K1, right? You're gonna just farm extra waves. It is quite nice as well because you can dispel the flux, the silence of the Skywrath Mage. They'll also tank up the Lich ult for you. I mean, it just makes sense the way he plays Dota 2.
Chris Luck. He jumps to his orb right next to the Phantom Lancer, and now it's looking like he could get dueled up. Yep, he couldn't jump far enough away. A 1 duel for JT, an important pickoff for IG. That is just going to stall out Beast Coast's game more and more. Any little tiny core kill turns into a big window of IG pushing in waves, getting lots of map control, and Beast Coast struggling to get it back.
Yeah. I just don't know if IG recognized like just how much this Doom is farming. He is using fire off cooldown, that Scorched Earth constantly on CD, because K1 he's just farming everything, both sides of the jungle, multiple lanes. Has the man to complete now. It looks to run towards mid lane as IG enter the Roche pit, but they don't have the greatest lineup for this. The Arc Warden certainly helps, but if Beast Coast get wind of this, I'm sure they want to contest it. They still have that BKB edge on the Doom.
They've been looking for a team fight, man, and IG, in a way, are granting them the opportunity to do so, but Beast Coast doesn't see it. They're blind to it, and now that's going to be a Roshan taken for IG, and all of a sudden, this biggest power spike for Beast Coast is kind of stripped away. Now, I don't know if they want to take a fight.
I really like the timing on that. They entered the pit about 15 to 20 seconds before the bounty runes spawn. So you can expect Beast Coast is thinking runes. They're trying to control one half of the map. They're just in the Roche pit ignoring the bounties, and they're going to grab 2 of them anyway because Beast Coast was playing bottom side. Really nice move from IG. As you said, it removes the timing edge for Beast Coast. They wanted to fight, but now you're going to be playing into a PL with Aegis and the Basher up very early on. Going Heart, no, he's actually going to go straight Abyssal first before the Heart.
Amo once again using his Tempest double to very obnoxious effectiveness in defending towers and almost killing K1 Hector as well. As you can see, though, it's tanky enough to survive through all these attacks from Beast Coast and push the creep wave back.
I really like the item build. Again, not just for the Wraithband spam, but the Dragonlance now. Just so many stats, 2,500 HP. And you can't even kill the clone. That is very troubling for Beast Coast. They find a Paladin Sword for IG, a Greater Fairy Fire for Chris Luck.
And they both found a Titan Sliver as well, which... I feel like that's more effective because they have a Phantom Lancer, high amount of base damage.
Sure.
Oh, they actually gave it to the Legion Commander instead.
It's quite nice on the Doom as well. Both sides would have really loved a Craggy Cloak in this game, but nothing doing thus far.
Yeah.
Mid tower getting pressured by IG. TP's coming in though, gotta be careful.
They're gonna be able to get the duel onto Lelis. He's gonna be slept up though. The illusion's helping to be able to take away that nightmare. Lelis survives to the duel, 4 staffs away, but he's slowed down by the Fuse Blade. Eventually, Fly is gonna be able to get that kill. They got the Fiend's Grip on the real Phantom Lancer, but the rest of the team isn't helping him out right now because they're focused on killing this Legion Commander. They're gonna try and pull this Underlord back in. Fly at half health thanks to that Fiend's Grip is gonna go quickly take out Stinger. They're running out of mana on the side of Beast Coast, which means they're also running out of damage, except Chris Luck, who came back into the fight and does manage to take away that Aegis. What about the second life, though? They are running out of steam here, and you can see it. They're going to have to force staff, try and get back over to the high ground here. The Firestorm is out. The Illusions are doing their work. Beast Coast, Schofield, as well as K1 Hector are low enough. They have to try and get back. They do successfully. So it wasn't the worst fight in the world. They got 2 kills. They took away an Aegis. It cost them a buyback on Lelis, though.
Yeah, but really, it could have been so much worse for them. Emo was playing that entire fight with an Arcane Rune. His hero never in danger, but he's still outputting so much damage in the engagement. Played the high ground near the entire time. It's just, the longer fights go, the better it's going to be for IG, because Arc Warden and PL just simply do not run out of gas, whereas Beast Coast, once Coiled Doom are on cooldown, you have some serious troubles. They didn't even get the Doom off in that fight, or rather, they did? I think
they did. They got it off on JT and killed him. Shout out to Stinger for correctly identifying the real Phantom Lancer with the Fiend's Grip. That certainly helped their team fight a lot.
He's just going to get gone for it. Much like the previous game where we saw the PL of Hector just going for the Lion.
Avalanche, they're going to try and get a toss back. No, they're going to turn into the river where there is that Tempest double. So they have to deal with that damage dealer, but before Staff onto the high ground, they can actually turn on to Schofield instead. The Tempest double once again surviving until it runs out of steam. They are going to be able to get the initiation on the backline. Beautiful initiation by JT. Catching Chris Luck. Now Lelis goes to the TP out, but it gets bashed up. No escape here. K1 Hector being utterly kited around and torn apart. Emo slows him down and Kaka puts in the work.
Unbelievable. They're just playing so well, Cap. Like, just constantly outplaying Beast Coast throughout the fights. They're splitting the engagement onto multiple levels, and they're winning on all fronts. The team understands target selection. And Emo just, keeping his teammates alive, kiting back. As soon as the BKB runs out on the Doom, you're tanky, you're farmed. Sure, I look at the net worth, he's 4,000 ahead of the game, but you're not gonna be able to move. And it's just a little over-aggressive, and your offensive force staffing in on Schofield. Now you're stuck in no man's land. You're all inning on this illusion. He's effectively just baiting you in the river. Mid lane, we got a fight on our hands.
They are going to be able to find the Fiend's Grip onto the real Phantom Lancer. This is a massive kill, but the magnetic field is helping to protect him. The Doom is going to take onto him, but not a whole lot other damage. Schofield, he needs to be able to get a little bit closer. The Avalanche on top, he gets the kill. K1 Hector claims it with the Doom. It is going to cost Schofield his life and dual damage going the way of JT. They're going to wake up Emo off the Nightmares. Chris Luck, as well as Schofield, they're actually going to buy back and try and attack Emo here. Stinger having a hard time dealing with these illusions. Chris Luck is going to try and dodge a bit of the damage they're poking at him. They do have K1 Hector here as well, laying out some damage. Emo wants a little bit more, but won't be able to find a kill. It'll be Ollie who sees the opening with the Chain Frost, perhaps giving up his life to K1 Hector, though. Beast Coast, just as you think, they may be out of it. They win a really big team fight, claiming the 2 carries of IG.
Big buyback from Schofield there, specifically just finding the kill on the Phantom Lancer. I'm really loving the way JT's playing. I know he goes down there. They lose Emo anyway, but BKBing to break the sleep to try and keep fighting. If it weren't for the buyback on the Tiny, they might be able to turn that around. Really heads-up play by Schofield. That's the Beast Coast special. They're never going to stay dead as supports if they have the option to rejoin the battle.
He had a nice trap set up for Kaka, but they don't have the vision to finish off that kill. Lelis has no idea that he just TP'd away inside the trees.
And they find out a little too late. He will be able to finish up a Crimson Guard, though. You could see, once he was out of mana, the PL actually had a lot of trouble trying to finish him out, and that was before the Crimson. That active will be very effective at ensuring his team just stays alive through the illusion spam. 5K gold lead still for IG, even though K1 is so far ahead of the net worth. His team is behind, and that's troubling. When you consider that Doom is this far ahead, it really means the rest of his team is even further behind. If Puck gets dueled, effectively if anyone but K1 gets dueled, they're most likely just dead.
You also have to question the effectiveness of this net worth on a Doom. 20K net worth on him, but it feels like the Phantom Lancer is stronger in team fights with only 17K.
Oh yes, Doom has to be ahead, just the nature of the hero. And if you look at the itemization, most of these items are just for further farming. And yeah, sure, Heart will give you survivability, but it's the rest of your team that's getting targeted.
Okay, so there is some late game potential to the Doom. First of all, he has a very interesting talent, 175%
that's a very good point.
cleave. Don't think I've ever seen anybody take that.
I think we might here today.
But today, I mean, against a Phantom Lancer as a carry Doom, you might as well. On top of that, there's always the Aghanim Scepter he can get later on to the game.
Yeah, I think that's a really good point, actually. This is perhaps where the Beast Coast Theorycraft really planned for, because we've seen them try Doom against PL before, but it never got to this stage of the game.
Right.
But in theory, I've always talked about how you want a physical damage carry that can scale against PL that deals with illusions. There's very few of them, but Doom with that talent at 25 could arguably be the best one. 175% cleave,
that's
he's gonna
a
be
lot.
hitting, yeah.
But it's his damage per second isn't that high because his attack speed is kind of slow. He doesn't really have Daedalus or anything.
But he's going to get a Wolf at some point. Right now he's still playing with the Ice Armor, but I imagine once he's 25, he'll switch to that damage. It effectively adds a Venge Aura to your hero, plus the crit potential.
JT, he's been doing this beautifully. He's caught Chris Luck several times here, and with the recent pickup of the Shadow Blade, finds him again.
It's the right itemization. He got the BKB early on to secure kills. Now he's just going Shadow Blade because he wants to just hunt. That's his role here on the team.
He spotted him. Hit him with the dust. Ollie. They could Fiend's Grip if they have to, but I'd rather save that ultimate. Just kill him with normal abilities.
I'd like to see, K1, he's going for the Shivas. Really good against the PL. He also is certainly going to have some mana issues as these fights drag on. But someone I want to see with an Assault Cuirass.
Yeah, he thought about building AC and then felt Shiva's was better for him. Do you agree with that?
Depends. I feel like if you're going for the cleave talent, you just want AC for raw damage output, and you just hit PL in the mouth, hope to win the exchange. Shiva's is better for initiation, helps your squad cheaper, and ensures you'll have the mana to get your spells off. But there's arguments for both. It's really just player preference. He's already got the recipe, so I imagine he's made his decision. Roshan spawning in 4 seconds. There's a courier placed above it by IG. Beast Coast have no clue when this would be coming up. And they're immediately into the pit on IG.
IG have been keeping a nice, fast pace to this game. As soon as they felt strong enough, they continued to do so by instantly going for the Roshan, and Beast Coast either none the wiser or not feeling comfortable going for that fight. They are so close to that level 25 on Doom after all. Looks like they're just going to keep farming for a bit.
And it's interesting to note the Arc Warden going for the attack rate instead of the Spark Wraith cooldown, so I expect Emo to keep playing the same way. Outskirts of the fight, keep trying, just mostly playing with the clone and trusting in his PL to be the hard carry. But if you look at the way this game's breaking down, IG have 3 cores that are continuing to scale to do massive amounts of physical damage. You already have 108 dual victory damage on your LC, so no one really gonna be falling off. Whereas on Beast Coast, it's just the Doom. You've got lockdown, sure, but if you look at their 2 through 5 positions, it's effectively just all magic damage, and the net worth is not impressive. So,
particularly since, you know, we've seen Puck go into late game, look kind of good, but he's so far behind in net worth, right, that it would be hard for him to be able to reclaim that. If they could push this game another 20 minutes, he gets level 25 before 20 GPM, then all of a sudden maybe we see him develop some of those late game damage items.
Oh yeah, a lot of things can change once you hit 420. It's just a question of whether it'll be in time. They're gonna gank the clone middle, but the Mjolnir buff, man, is he actually? No, he'll die. They're 300 gold, you'll take that on Chris Luck. He just finished a Lincoln's. Let's see, JT gonna take the bottom outpost as IG rotate towards bots. The only tier 2 remaining, and they're most likely gonna be looking for a fight here. Closing in on 25 on PL. You just have a Doom a little bit away. He wants to finish that off ASAP, I'd imagine.
Phantom Lancer is gonna buy out his heart, it's looking like, and the Shiva is gonna be bought out by K1 Hector.
Yeah, you gotta get items on K1. There's no way you can afford to save for buyback, which might seem counterintuitive to the unexperienced, but if you're a Doom this tanky, you need to just all in. Because if you die in a fight, your team's losing it. You're not gonna be the target. And there's the cleave we were hoping we would see. Now I just need him to find a wolf creep and he's ready to rock and roll.
Oh, meanwhile, Phantom Lancer just got a big upgrade in his own in the critical strike.
Cool. Yeah, most of the time you see Doppel, but in this game, I just don't think he feels like he needs that survivability tool. He wants to be able to go toe-to-toe with this Beast Coast lineup as they smoke towards him.
They smoke out. They do manage to find the real one with a Fiend's Grip on top of him as well. Do they even need the duel? Well, they should have done it. Now he's going to pop it onto JT instead as JT bails out the Phantom Lancer with the BKB. He may still have the chance to survive. Chris Luck throwing more damage onto him. He does end up falling. No chance and a neutral denied. Can they get back to it? Oh no, they left Hector alone. Manta, Schofield, he's trying to get him out. Toss him over to the neutral camp. That'll certainly help Schofield. He may be left behind, but IG, they really want to be able to take down this Doom. K1 Hector turning with his BKB. Looks to be able to get a kill on one of the supports, but can't do it. Backs up now. BKB fading out. Here comes the slows, but here comes the rest of Beast Coast as well. Pushing IG back, except for Fly, who continues to go forward. Now he's going to turn on to K1 Hector, who's down to half health, but K1 Hector with his Radiance is doing a lot of damage to this IG squad. He starts laying out the cleave damage on a Fly, who's rather tanky himself. Both these carries at half health in a slog of a team fight where Lelis is slowing down all of it with the Firestorm damage as well. Chris Luck in the back lines tried to go for Kaka, missed that kill, and instead dies 1v1 to the opposing support.
Really nice. Buyback from JT ends up actually landing a dual kill. Really cool there. Chris Luck didn't see him coming. The Shadow Blade. His Lincoln's was down.
He slept himself. He tried to go for the toss back there. Fails the initiation. Fly's now free. Oh, K1 Hector immediately showing himself into the back line once again. But Glimmer Capes and Force Sass are helping IG play away from pain. You can see Emote always playing the distance. Wow, we have Fly committing for the kill, but he's already dropping a lot. He still has the second life. Chris Luck, he bought back earlier, can't afford to die here, but he managed to catch so many heroes locking them two together. They will manage to get both JT and Ollie. No buybacks there, and Fly, he's finding his damage just being utterly ineffective. He's being ignored right now. They're gonna turn, see if they can deal with the Aegis, and then turn back on Emo, the important hero that they want to deal with. They just ignore the Phantom Lancer, bring down Emo, and now at their leisure, they'll see if they can hunt down Fly as he's got no support whatsoever. Making a break for it, K1. He's on his way. Schofield out of mana to be able to catch him anymore. And the TP out. Ooh, nicely placed behind the trees. So Beast Coast was too late to spot him.
That is unbelievable. I don't even know how to track what's happening in that fight. So much going down, too many colors on the screen. It's IG pushing up the high ground, but we have a buyback from Chris Luck. They immediately turn tail and run. K1 just does so much damage. Like, they're targeting him, but this is not real. Like, he's keeping the ice armor. You're not actually going to be able to kill this Doom. And you can see Fly out of mana, fighting with the Aegis, but his offensive power is limited, and they're just getting wrecked.
As soon as they lose their mana, I mean, like, Fly just doesn't look like he can do anything against the Underlord, who's limiting his damage, and then these heroes are so tanky.
It's Schofield again, though, with the double combo into the pit.
Sick.
Firestorm finds the 2 kills. Sure, they're both going to buy back, but it's a 5-on-3 now, so IG are forced to run.
Yeah, last time they had the Aegis and Cheese. Beast Coast, they're going to be feeling themselves. They're going to have to fight through a Parakeet Tower, but eventually they should be able to bring it down. The Chain Frost is going to come in, as well as the Skywrath Mage Ultimate. A lot of damage, but being split a lot between the Beast Coast heroes. They're all going to remain quite healthy here and going to try and go for the kill, but Kaka is able to get away. They do have the Fiend's Grip out, but they're actually going to choose to Dark Rift away, resetting as Emo is coming back alive in 2 seconds.
They're just doing such a great job. Beast Coast, it's all about the choke point control. You've got Pit, you've got Coil. We've seen a couple times now Schofield tossing into Grip, tossing into Pit. They got to keep that up. It's the spread fights that IG will look to dominate in, because they have so much, right? It makes the support's positioning easier. A duel could come out of nowhere. Illusions will be all over the map. But if Beast Coast...
Speaking of a duel, that is going to be a winning duel for JT. 160 damage and a gem claimed from Stinger.
That's really annoying to give away, because you're playing against 2 Glimmer Capes on the IG supports. K1 certainly too farm to carry detection at this point.
Absolutely. A pit goes down. Lelis trying to get away. Nice toss back, and then the blink, the clumsy net on the real one. He manta dodges that. He's immediately going to try and break the coil to get out of here. Defensive force snaps and Glimmer Cape. So once again, Beast Coast still tracking him though. They have Chris Luck, but has he gone too far? They try and turn onto him, but immediately he phase shifts, and now the real Phantom Lancer's going to caught the Eagle Scepter, and they're going to be able to get the duel on him. He's going to be bought a little bit of time by JT with that press the attack, and they've gotten onto their high ground. Beast Coast knows not to play into that area. Even if they got the duel or Doom on the real carry, it didn't matter. Playing into that high ground is too damn dangerous. They give up Schofield, but that's it.
He's got a buyback as well. And again, he's just so... He's one of those players, this Tinies, that always looks for tosses for more than the combo damage. Either it's allies to safety or enemies into harm's way. Really nice job. Any big items coming up? So we got Aeon Disc on Chris Luck. That's going to be big. Orb of Destruction on the Underlord.
Silver Edge for Hector. I mean, really thinking that he just wants to be able to get there on top of Emo. Is that what it is?
Looks all right, yeah. You want to get the Arc Warden. The PL is just too tough to take down.
Oh, this damage, Fly. He's actually trying to go to the back line. He's going to ignore K1 Hector for now. Does take an Infernal Blade shot with a duel out onto Lelis. They do manage to bring him down. He does have buyback and a Fiend's Grip onto the real Phantom Lancer. They caught him once again. They have the Infernal Blade on top of him. So much damage that it looks like he's going to fall. K1 Hector gets a little bit low with his BKB. He's trying to get away, but the Invis isn't good enough. They have the Sentry just barely in place to be able to find him. He's going to buy back as well as Lelis and look to be able to Tor Emo. Emo popping his BKB, standing and fighting here with 2 different magnetic fields. He goes for the TP out with his BKB. They don't have a disable to stop it. IG retreats. They lose their Lich, but the important hero in Emo does manage to get out. Looks like JT going to be caught as well by Chris Luck. Beast Coast buybacks are effective in getting multiple kills.
Yeah, but they've used the buybacks, though. That's the key. Every single player on Beast Coast now with buyback on cooldown. Only Pucks at 311 is under 6 minutes remaining. And Roshan spawning in 2 minutes. They won't be able to transition into anything other than perhaps some objectives. But you've got buybacks on PL. You've got one available. No, Lichen, they know this too. Lichen, the Legion Commander should do not have them available for the full respawn. So it's a 5-on-3 at best for IG.
At the same time, they should know that Emo does have his buyback.
Yeah, Lelis.
You got to be careful. He is the Uber out of this situation. Beast Coast, they're actually going to TP him back, and he's going to Dark Rift back in, which means they're fully committing at this point. They're going to be able to get the coil on 2 of them, but they're focused on the objectives right now. The repair kit makes the melee barracks too tough to kill, so Beast Coast start backing it up.
Yep, straight to the shrine, though. Try and acquire some map control. Roshan spawning soon. That's going to be the next big objective. And no,
Courier, that's a gem.
I think that might have been on the way back from picking it up from the battlefield earlier. Did the long journey, only to hand it right back over to Beast Coast. You said Silver Edge on the Doom. Really just a positional tool, but this is just K1 Hector special, okay? Radiance, Silver Edge, Strength Hero. It's the name of the game.
The old formula, it works for every Strength Hero.
Well, when he's playing him, it does. And there's a DD bottom. Perhaps that would help out. I'm surprised he's still playing with this Ice Armor. It's way more effective earlier on in the game. And it's definitely annoying to deal with because all these PL illusions get slowed when they attack an ally that's got the protective frost on top of them. But I'm concerned that they're going to run out of damage. You can see Emo, both he and his clone popping BKB. You don't really have the ability to take them down. In fact, the clone almost killed Lelis by himself. And it despawned. They weren't really able to take it down.
They had not finished up their tier 3 items. They got the Leveler onto Lelis, just picked up the Witless Shaco as well as Minotaur Horn. So, sadly, the Illusionist came.
Here's the big thing, though. We talked about, oh, wait, oh, no,
They're
K1.
going to find their initiation on duel onto K1 Hector. They blow everything they have because they saw the buyback from last time. They know he's dead for 2 minutes. And he's 32,000 net worth. So effectively, right now, IG's up by 33K. They can do whatever they want. They can do Roshan pretty easily and then march high ground with time to work.
And you've got 25 on your Arc Warden 2 for the Spark Wraith damage. They're starting to hit real hard. And for a full 100 seconds now, it is 5 on 4, as you said. 35K ahead at this point is IG with no Doom.
Schofield and Chris Luck are both hitting the bottom tier 3. We'll see what IG does in response.
But this is big. Puck just finished his Axe. We talked about how they don't have much to deal with the IG BKBs and the Arc Warden or the LC. All of a sudden, how many times have we seen tossbacks, right? Coil tossback on anybody. That's a 4.5 second stun. There's no cleanse mechanic with the exception of JT's Legion Commander. He's got to be the target, and that's why IG put the Aegis on him. So really cool decision under the circumstances.
Hey, Beast Coast rather, they're just looking to be able to slow down IG. The Firestorm doing good work here. They are going to go onto this Legion Commander. The Aegis is down. As long as they survive through this one, the Minotaur Horn helping Schofield a little bit, but he gets bashed up by Flyfly. The follow-up Abyss Blade as well to sleep. Buys him a momentary respite, but Glimmer Cape, he's going to be good. Now, stuck inside the pit, he has to actually walk away from it and deal with the buildings instead. Beast Coast doing a good job delaying. 35 seconds until K1 Hector is back up. Stinger gets a little bit too close to Emo, but a Glimmer Cape once again saving him. Initiation onto Lelis. Lelis in trouble, dueled, and dead. Now he's dead with no buyback for 2 minutes, and the initiation into the backline. Flyfly is going to be able to get the kill on Stinger as Lance chases him down into the fountain. 15 seconds till Hector's back up, but Chris Luck as well as Schofield, they're running out of steam here. The tier 4s are being taken down so quickly. The throat is exposed. They can't put a stop to this damage. They're going to jump on Ollie. Flyfly, he ignores it. Is going to go for the hero kills. They want Beast Coast out of here, and they're going to show they're stronger, they're better, and they will take this series 2-0.
What a game. IG, never say die. Beast Coast, they fight, they end up with no buybacks. And at the end of the day, a cool smoke gank, they find a kill, K1 dead. And before he's able to respawn, it's GG IG.
Innovative strategy from Beast Coast, the Doom carry, but it has failed them twice at this tournament and will be the way they head out. Top 8 still for Beast Coast. But they wanted a little bit more, and IG, they'll have the chance to do just that. Top 6 already, and a chance to face EG later on today.
That'll be a cool series. Not sure who to call, but the way they've been playing, IG certainly look as crisp and clean as Vici did yesterday. A couple missteps here and there, but it's want to happen when you're playing against a team as aggressive as Beast Coast. But yeah, they move on 2-0. Suddenly, after all the 2-1s, it's just been clean sweeps throughout the rest of the days.
Certainly, IG impressing here at the lower bracket, building up staves. They have just been getting stronger and stronger, as you said. Very similar to Vici Gaming, but how far can they actually go? Well, we'll have to see after the break. That'll be the panel's job. How far can IG go? We'll have to see. Break time first.